As we are slowly approaching the very first integrated version in Punishing Grey Raven, we will only be receiving one new S-rank character this time round, and it will be none other than Luna Oblivion, which I'm sure many players are extremely hyped to finally be able to pick up. Especially since Luna will in fact be introducing a few new features into the game, such as a brand new element and class. But also since she has arguably some of the best looking animations and gameplay we have ever seen, which to be fair is kinda expected from a brand new character. So now to just ensure you guys are up to speed for when Luna releases, I'll be going through and breaking down Luna's kit, going over her best team synergies, overall value along with touching upon her weapon and cub, then I'll be wrapping it up with if you should summon or skip Luna Oblivion. Just before we jump right into it, as always, would really appreciate it if you could subscribe for more Punishing Grey Raven content and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Now kicking it off with Luna Oblivion's kit, as mentioned, Luna will be introducing the brand new Nihil element and Annihilator class into the game. So of course being the first of her kind will already provide Luna with much more value than other characters, especially since there will be endgame content soon releasing that favors the Nihil element, which means Luna Oblivion would then be the best character for that content, as she is the only Nihil character until Ishmael drops quite a few months from now. As for the Annihilator class itself, in an interesting way it combines the effects across multiple elements and at the same time focuses on destruction. In other words, Luna is an incredible damage dealer and can work essentially with any element type character, which I'll go into further detail when going over Luna's team synergies. Focusing more on Luna's abilities, an integral aspect of Luna's kit would be the Moonlit Coronation core passive. Luna essentially has three different states consisting of the Nova state, main sequence state, and finality state. As Luna enters the battlefield, she will immediately enter the Nova state, which allows only yellow signal orbs to be generated, a bit similar to Lucia Crimson Weave only generating blue signal orbs in her first state. Whilst Luna is in the Nova state, she will be able to activate the Reaping Moon and Shattered Moon attack. Reaping Moon simply allows Luna to ascend into the air and pulls all enemies together before plunging down on them. In addition, Luna auto-dodges any attacks during the Reaping Moon charge up and gains 50% damage reduction. Though more importantly, Luna is able to generate crescent points and eclipse points in her gauge when casting Reaping Moon and through activating signal orbs, which kinda does make her orb dependent, just like our most recent S-rank character Chu Shukra. As for their value, Eclipse points will enable Luna to deal additional damage with her second signature move and charged attack within the finality state. As for Crescent points, whenever Luna releases the Reaping Moon attack at either 0 or 45 or at a max of 90 Crescent points, Shattering Moon will then be activated and will be the plunge attack following up from Reaping Moon. Now as for entering the main sequence state and finality state, both can be accessed through Luna's first signature move. Tapping the signature move will allow Luna to enter the main sequence state, whereas holding the signature move will allow Luna to enter the finality state. While there are a few similarities between both states as they deal the same set of alternate basic attacks, there are a few key differences. During the main sequence state, Luna will only be able to generate blue and red signal orbs, along with being able to activate the incipient retribution charged attack, which will replace the Shattering Moon attack from the Nova state. In the finality state, Luna will only generate finality orbs and has access to the massive final retribution attack. The finality state could be seen as Luna's burst state, as she does consume crescent points whilst in the state, and when she does hit 0 crescent points, Luna will then exit out of the finality state. Although you can stay within the finality state from activating finality orbs that can provide 20 crescent points each, hence this state specifically being seen as Luna's burst state. As mentioned, Eclipse points will be able to increase the base damage of the final retribution attack. In specific, for every 10 Eclipse points Luna holds as she activates final retribution, they will be consumed and in return will amplify the base damage by 4%. So given Luna can hold up to a max of 300 Eclipse points at S rank, final retribution's base damage is then amplified by 120%. With a standard damage multiplier at max level of 3000 3800%, which is in fact higher than the second signature attack with a damage multiplier of 3200%, Luna's final retribution is pretty much going to hit enemies like a truck. Lastly, from both the main sequence state and finality state, you can then pop Luna's second signature attack known as Luna Downfall. Although, whilst in the main sequence state, similar to the final retribution attack's base damage being amplified by eclipse points, the exact same damage amplification will apply for Luna Downfall. So all in all, whether you are in the main sequence state or the finality state, Luna without a doubt will hit incredibly hard paired with the damage amplification from her eclipse points. As for a few other notable aspects within Luna's kit, the Annihilator class skill does elaborate a bit further on the amount of value Luna does hold, since along with the extra damage bonus being increased by 20%, it allows elemental resistance and damage increase buffs applied by any member to become universally effective for all elements. In other words, and as I mentioned earlier, despite Luna being the only nihil character in the game, the class skill allows her to synergize with pretty much any tank, support or amplifier. Regarding the QTE, it would just be Luna swinging in and dealing 600% nihil damage, and as for the leader skill, it does increase nihil damage of all members by 10% and increases attack of all annihilators by 20%. So with the leader skill, Luna would be able to deal even more damage, and once Ishmael does drop later on, it will allow the both of them to synergize pretty well together. A bit of insight into Luna's evolution effects: there are a few great additional abilities, such as at double S rank, Luna would be able to activate all QTEs on the team through multiple abilities, along with incipient retribution's base damage being amplified by the amount of eclipse points Luna holds, just like the final retribution attack. However, as you can imagine, Luna would obtain even more powerful abilities the higher the rank, and specifically with triple S rank, not only will Luna receive an increase in base damage for Luna Downfall by 20% and generate additional crescent points through Reaping Moon, but the eclipse point generation rate doubles and the max capacity increases to 600 points, which would mean both the final retribution attack and Luna Downfall signature move will hit significantly harder. So if you are planning to invest in pulling extra copies for Luna Oblivion, then just bear in mind you would gain a ton more value with the latter evolution effects. Now moving on to Luna's team synergies. As I have mentioned a few times now that Luna can synergize with any character due to her Annihilator class skill, the most optimal team would still remain as Luna alongside Watanabe Epitaph as the tank and Liv Imperia as the amplifier. Watanabe, being our most recent S-rank tank, is without a doubt the strongest tank in the game, especially due to his 25% fire resistance shred he inflicts on enemies from his QTE skill. So due to this debuff being one of the more superior resistance shred debuffs in the game, it will hold immense value for Luna since she will be able to utilize it with her Annihilator class skill. Then with Liv Imperia being a fire type character like Watanabe and being an amazing amplifier, not only will she be able to buff the active character's attack and elemental damage bonus by 10% through her class skill, but will be able to heal through both her core passive and QTE, crowd controls enemies to allow for more efficient clears, and deals considerable burst damage. Although with Liv Imperia specifically, you would ideally want to have ascended her to triple S rank, given she will then obtain an extremely valuable evolution effect which increases the amplifier's class skill effect by 100%, boosts the fire damage bonus provided to allies to reach 20%, and allows for the core passive Ode for Everlight to charge 100% quicker. Considering Liv has been out for quite some time, chances are many of you might already have her at triple S rank. But if not, you will be able to pick up an additional copy or your first copy from a selector within the Stars Ensnared update. Now, if you don't have Watanabe since you might be a new player, an alternative could be our new A-rank character Bridget Audio, which can be acquired and ascended to triple S plus rank for free through specific missions. Bridget's QTE as an A-rank only does provide a 10% fire resistance shred on enemies, but at triple S plus rank the resistance shred effect reduces fire resistance by an additional 5%. Of course, a 15% fire resistance shred is still inferior to a 25% fire resistance shred, but it's still a solid debuff alongside Bridget's ability to deal considerable damage and parry enemies' attacks. So you could very much well use Luna alongside Liv Imperia and Bridget Audio instead of Watanabe Epitaph. As for a few alternative duos to play alongside Luna Oblivion, you could use Vera Garnet as a tank and number 21 Feral as the amplifier, or later on when Wanshi Lucid Dreamer does drop, which I do expect could be next month, you could in fact utilize him as a tank and Hyla Kaleido as the amplifier. So there are quite a few viable team comps for Luna Oblivion thanks to her Annihilator class skill. Although once again, the Luna, Watanabe and Liv team will be the most optimal team for quite a while. So if you do want to allow Luna to perform to the best of her abilities, then that would be the team you should aim to build for Luna Oblivion. So now as for Luna's overall value, if you aren't already enticed to pull for her due to her insane looking animations, along with being the standalone Nihil character for quite some time and having incredible team flexibility due to the Annihilator class, then just maybe the fact that her intricate kit allowing her to switch between different forms and dealing immense levels of damage could be the deciding factor. As mentioned, Luna will be somewhat orb hungry due to generating crescent and eclipse points from signal orbs. So just like Chu Shukra, Luna's weapon would provide a significant boost in performance, as along with providing a 10% attack bonus, after a 3 ping or casting Shattering Moon with maximum crescent points, the next ping is regarded as a 3 ping. The cherry on top, crescent point generation speed increases by 50%, which will ultimately reduce Luna's dependency on activating signal orbs as frequent. So as much as it is recommended to pull for this weapon for the best experience with Luna, considering we are receiving multiple banners per version, then you might want to save your summons for some of the new characters that are releasing soon. That being said, if you can afford to pick up Luna's weapon, then it will certainly provide a huge boost in value and performance. As for Luna's cub, along with it being an actual dragon, which is pretty cool, it does deal damage and crowd controls enemies. So it is definitely a valuable cub, but since Luna is capable of crowd controlling through her own abilities, it then just isn't as impactful as it would be for other characters that aren't able to crowd control. Also, it is probably best to invest any spare summons into picking up the weapon first over the cub. Though between both, just bear in mind you can pick up either of these whenever you want. So there really is no rush or pressure on picking up the weapon and cub along with Luna on release. Now as for should you summon for Luna Oblivion? Of course, if you simply like Luna, then that should be reason enough to summon. If you need a strong damage dealer to carry you through content, and specifically if you are focused on meta, then Luna would be a great pickup since there will be endgame content that allows the Nihil element to thrive. So with Luna being the only Nihil character once again, it does mean she would then be a must pull. Lastly, due to Luna's team flexibility, she is much more comfortable to build teams around than other characters, allowing even new accounts to utilize Luna optimally very soon after starting the game. Now on the other hand, you can skip Luna if you are focused on picking up any future characters such as Han Ying's Solus Tune dropping next month alongside Wanshi Lucid Dreamer. Han Ying being a new S-rank physical tank is surely going to attract those with Bianca Stigmata, and as for Wanshi, he will in fact be the new best ice tank alongside Chu Shukra and Hyla Kaleido. Though unlike Han Ying, Wanshi is a free S-rank character that can be acquired through the door, but for those that might want any additional copies to ascend him would need to be considerate with their pulls. Additionally, if you don't pull for Luna's weapon, as mentioned it will provide a massive boost in performance, and so without it you may not have the best experience with Luna. So you could choose to skip Luna with that in mind, and due to the accelerated banner drop speed, Luna would be added into the standard banner just next month, which means for those that still have their blue target summon could pick her up after through that. All in all, it is down to your account and preference, but since all rewards for this version are tripled due to there being a total of 3 integrated versions, it does mean if you really want Luna, then there shouldn't be any difficulty in picking her up, and if you choose to do so, then you'll be safe knowing you are picking up one hell of a damage dealer that will stay relevant in meta for a while. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Would really appreciate it if you could subscribe for more Punishing Grey Raven content, and if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Also drop a comment down below whether you are picking up Luna Oblivion or will you be skipping. And yeah, hope to catch you guys later.